Now, as you can see, this video is on perimeter. Now, before we do any work on perimeter, I just want to take you through some conversion factor information. Now, a lot of people can often struggle with the conversions between each of these. Now, we know that there is 1,000 meters in a kilometer. We know there is 100 centimeters in a meter, and we know there is 10 millimeters in a centimeter. Now, whether we add, subtract, multiply, divide, sometimes people get a little bit confused on that. So here's what I need you to do. I want you to use your hands like a balance and say to yourself, if the name gets bigger, the number's got to get smaller. Or if the name gets smaller, the number's got to get bigger. What do I mean by that? Well, if we were converting from millimeters to centimeters, the conversion factor is 10. But is it a multiply by 10 or a divide by 10? Well, look at the name, millimeters to centimeters. Centimeter is the name of a bigger unit, so the name is getting bigger. So to balance that, the unit's got to get smaller. So however many millimeters you have, to convert them into centimeters, you would divide. What about the other way? If we're going from centimeters into millimeters, we're going from a big unit name to a small unit name. The unit's getting smaller, the number's going to get bigger. We do that by multiplication. And so on we go. Centimeters to meters, once again, the name's getting bigger, the number's going to get smaller, so we go in this direction. It wasn't meant to be an arrowhead there. We're doing divide, going back across the top, kilometers to meters, the name is getting smaller, the number's going to get bigger, so each of these are multiplies. So that'll help you out when you come to do your conversions. Now, perimeter. Perimeter is just distance around the outside. So whatever shape you have, doesn't matter how messy or ugly it is, it's simply, if you start at a certain position and walk along each of the edges, you've got the perimeter. And the word perimeter means outside. Peri, meaning outside, meter, to measure. So it's the outside measurement. So because you're walking along lines, your outside measurements are going to be in straight out units, straight out millimeters, straight out centimeters, etc. It's only when you start looking at the inside space that you start using area, then areas become squared units. So for perimeter, perimeters will only be straight out units, millimeters, centimeters, meters, kilometers, whatever the question requires of you. So perimeter, distance around the outside. Now, people are always asking me, oh sir, what's the formula for the perimeter of this shape? Well, there is no need to memorize formula for perimeter. There's only one perimeter formula that at the moment you need, and I'll show you that in a moment. But as long as you've got a whole lot of straight lines, all you need to do is just add them up. If that was 10 centimeters, 15 centimeters, 20 centimeters, 8 centimeters, etc. You just add those numbers up and you have perimeter. The only formula for us at this point in time, there might be more later, but at this time there's only one formula we need to know, and that's the formula when it comes for a circle. So with a circle, its perimeter, we call that circumference too, by the way. So circumference, it's just a fancy word for perimeter of a circle. There's two formulas for that. If you happen to know the diameter of the circle, then use the diameter formula, which would be pi multiplied by the diameter. If you happen to know the radius of the circle, then you'd use the radius formula. 2 times pi times radius. If you know the radius, pi times diameter, if you know the diameter. That's at the moment the only formula we need to memorize and how to use. I'm going to put this into a bigger question in just a moment and see how we can use this. So back with you in just a tick. Now, this is straight out of the textbook, page 69, example number 4. Now, it's a much larger problem-solving question, but I'm going to break it down into its individual components and slowly build up to what the question is actually asking. Here you've got the shape, and we're told in the question that it's a racetrack, and we're told that it is 140 meters from this end to this end. We're also told that it is 50 meters wide. Now, priority one, we have to work out the circumference of that. I'm going to pull this diagram apart a little bit and break it down into its components. We have a circular bit on the end here, another circular bit on the end here, and then we've got these straight lines running in between. Now, this 50 meters across here, that's the diameter of the circle. So we now know that distance there is 50 meters. But that's half a circle, so we also know this radius here to be 25. Which means also over here we have this radius here as 25. Now if it's 140 meters from the top of that circle to that circle, we're able to work out the straight line bits. So with 140, take off this 25, take off this 25, brings these straight line distances back to 90 meters. We have everything we need now to work out the perimeter of this figure. Perimeter, just add up the distances around the outside. So we have two straight lines, each of them 90 meters long. To that, we have this half of a circle and this half of a circle. We have a full circle. So you can use the radius, the 25, or you can use the diameter, 50. It doesn't particularly matter. I'm going to use the diameter. So we're going to have 180 plus pi times 50. I plug that into my calculator and I get approximately 337.08. At the moment, as it stands, that's a simple, straightforward knowledge style question. Give it a diagram, break it down into its individual parts, work out the perimeter. Now, when I read the question a bit further, it actually takes this knowledge question and embeds it into a problem solving question. It puts some context onto it, it puts some other conditions upon it. And it says you've got to work out the cost of putting a fence around this track. So the cost of the fencing is going to be at $45 a metre. But you also have to put in 4 gates. Each gate is going to cost $150 and each gate is going to be 2 metres wide. So we need to work out what this fence is going to cost. So all the way around the track is 337 metres. But the first thing we need to do is take out the gates, because the cost of the gate is a lot more than the cost of the fence. I'll give myself a bit of room here and I'll come back and finish this off. Now, if we have a look at the total length of the fencing, it's the 337.08 metres that we worked out previously, the distance around the whole track, but we want to take these 4 gates out. So we're going to take out 4 gates. Each gate is 2 metres wide. So the total length of fencing is going to be 229.08 metres. Life is good. Now that we've got that, we can actually work out the total cost of doing this. So for the cost, it's going to be the cost of the fencing plus the cost of the gate. Cost of the fencing will be total distance of the fence multiplied by its cost, $45 a metre. To that we add the cost of one gate is $150 and we have 4 of them. Plugged it into the calculator, comes to 15,408.58. We can now answer the question, and we really do need a proper finish to the question. We need to state the answer appropriately. So therefore, just change my colour there. Therefore, total cost to fence the track is $15,408.58. $408.58. We do need a statement like that to finish off with. And let's run through again what I did. Now the question gave us all the information. They gave you the picture of the track, gave you the dimensions, gave you the information about how much a fence costs, what the gates cost, how many gates there have to be. So I broke the question down into a number of parts. Part one, I broke the track up into its sections. I then used that information to work out the perimeter of the track. Then I started incorporating the gates. So I knew how much of the total distance was gate, how much the total distance was track, and then I was able to go and finish off with the cost. It's a complex problem-solving question. It's not necessarily a difficult one. It's complex in that it has a lot of steps. Now, complex questions don't have to be difficult. This one is not overly difficult, it just has quite a few steps involved. But if we break it down step by step, there's a lot of very simple steps, and we can work our way through to the answer. Okay, I hope that has been helpful for you. You can have some shots now at the questions when it comes to working out perimeters. So good luck with that.